Breaking story we have today about Jay-Z and Beyonce is that they are over. The two of them are pretending for their fans, they're pretending for the cameras, they're pretending while they're on tour that they're still a couple.
I stopped a major thing for Beyonce. Didn't even get a thank you.
But now everybody's
why? Why is everybody calling me now? And this is Black excellence, at least how they present themselves. I mean, but there are lots of things that people do say about these people behind the scenes. They do call them dark.
So word on the street is that Jason Lee has been sitting on some explosive tea about Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage drama. And folks are saying Jason actually tried to warn us about their separation, way before any of us caught on. What we've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they are together, but they are living separately now. And Jason Lee, he might be holding the receipts that could blow this whole thing wide open.
Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked is calling out Jay-Z and Beyonce, all right? Saying that, saying a lot. Saying a lot.
The streets are buzzing that Jason Lee might be clutching some serious dirt on the Carter empire, and people are even saying he low-key tried to hint at their breakup long before anyone paid attention. If you've been scrolling through socials lately, you probably caught Jason stirring up drama and throwing shade at Queen Bee right on his talk show months ago. Here's the scoop on how this drama really kicked off. It all traces back to December, when Jason got angry after Beyonce left him off the guest list for her Renaissance movie premiere bash in London. Beyonce invited a bunch of influencers, but Jason wasn't one of them. He went on camera blasting her, saying she doesn't support black media. On top of that, Jason claimed he dropped a wild 40 grand on Renaissance concert tickets and merch for his crew, thinking that would guarantee him a golden ticket into her exclusive event. But no, Beyonce did not send him that invite, even though other influencers with way less loyalty and way less cash spent were partying right alongside her that night.
I think optically, when you don't include other black leaders in the culture in the fold, I mean, not just take me out of it. The Breakfast Club, I mean, you should have honored and brought more black. And I spent thousands, over $40,000 in tickets and shared the experience with friends. And I've done a lot, and I'm not even going to say it here because if I did, this internet, Beyonce's good internet, would go crazy.
But Jason wasn't done. He turned it up a notch and basically tried to blackmail Queen Bee on air. He straight up said he'd keep his mouth shut about the secrets he's holding only if she could pull strings and make Kelly Rowland sit down for an interview with him. Wild move, right? After Jason went off with all his little rants, he hopped on his show and started dropping hints about the dirt he claims to have on Beyonce. The guests sitting there were frozen, jaws on the floor, eyes wide, like they could not believe what they were hearing. The man was literally trying to extort Queen Bee on live television, thinking he could leverage her into getting him access to Kelly Rowland. Fast forward to now, and the rumor mill is still going crazy with whispers that Beyonce might actually be splitting from Jay-Z. People on social media are connecting the dots, wondering if this is the very tea Jason was dangling and threatening to spill all along. With whispers of a staggering $2.6 billion divorce swirling through the rumor mill, their seemingly perfect union is facing its most turbulent chapter yet. Sources close to the couple claim the A-list duo has been pushed to their limits, and the Texas Hold'em singer has strayed from her husband for 16 years. And for anyone confused about where these divorce rumors even came from, Jay-Z has already admitted to stepping out on Beyonce before, and he's been linked to plenty of women over the years. But the latest drama really popped off when folks started digging into Jay-Z's ties with Diddy.
Jay-Z name is getting louder and louder, and people are trying to connect the dots between him and Diddy, because let's not forget, they had a pretty close relationship.
Word on the street is Beyonce was blindsided by some shady business moves Jay was allegedly making with Diddy, and now she's trying to separate herself before the whole situation explodes in their faces. Everybody knows Jay-Z and Diddy were locked in like brothers for decades, but things got real shaky not too long ago, right before Cassie dropped that lawsuit. In an interview, Diddy bragged that only two people in the world get to call him Sean, his mom and Jay-Z. He was clearly trying to paint their bond as unbreakable, like they were family. But here's the kicker. At the time Diddy said that, he most likely already knew Cassie was gearing up to file her explosive lawsuit. Some folks are convinced Diddy name-dropped Jay in that interview on purpose, as if he was sending a warning like, don't get involved in this mess because if I go down, I'm taking you with me. Recent civil allegations against Jay-Z have brought a dark cloud over the music industry. The lawsuit filed on Sunday accuses Jay-Z, along with Sean Diddy Combs, of R-ing a 13-year-old girl during an after-party following the MTV Video Music Awards in September 2000. While Jay-Z has vehemently denied the claims, this incident has reignited a broader conversation about misconduct in the entertainment world.
He's been identified as fellow hip-hop mogul Jay-Z. His name has been revealed. The allegation is that he and Diddy raped a 13-year-old girl at an after party in the year 2000 after the MTV Video Music Awards.
And it gets darker. Rumors in the industry are saying Jay and Diddy have more in common than most people think when it comes to how they treat women. Jaguar Wright even came forward with wild claims, saying Jay-Z might actually be worse than Diddy. The timeline of how Beyonce and Jay-Z even met has always been a little shady. Beyonce once said she was 18 when they first crossed paths, and they started dating a year later. But in a 2007 interview with Charlie Rose, Jay-Z slipped up big time. When asked how long he'd known Beyonce, he got nervous and accidentally admitted they'd met 10 years earlier. So when you do the math, that slip means they met back in 1997. Beyonce would have had to have been about 15 or 16, while Jay-Z was already 28. That age gap alone has fans digging through his past relationships, and the whispers aren't pretty. A photograph believed to have been taken on the set of Destiny's Child No 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 music video lends weight to this assertion, as it shows the two together just 2 months after Beyonce's 16th birthday. Another image dated January 31, 1998, captures Jay-Z attending a Destiny's Child performance at the Primetime 21 nightclub in North Dallas when Beyonce was still 16. Word on the street is that before Beyonce, Jay-Z was allegedly getting close to Foxy Brown when she was still in her mid-teens. People are calling it the same type of situation Diddy had with Cassie. He was 36, while she was just 19. Foxy Brown has had to address these relationship rumors multiple times over the years, and over the years, rumors have swirled that Jay-Z allegedly got Beyonce hooked on substances, a claim her supposed ex-bodyguard Uncle Ron has pushed. According to him, Jay is the one holding the reins in their relationship, keeping Beyonce under control and calling all the shots through that influence.
Hardly nobody knows. But I'll say it, man. Yeah, Beyonce's on drugs. She been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way.
Uncle Ron claimed, before his mysterious death in September 2024, wild allegations. The timing of Uncle Ron's death has conspiracy theorists going absolutely crazy, especially since he was supposedly ready to spill more tea about what goes on behind closed doors in the Carter household. And Jaguar Wright didn't hold back either. She went as far as claiming Beyonce is basically trapped, living like a prisoner in a fancy gilded cage. All the luxury on the outside, but no real freedom on the inside. According to Jaguar, Free Britney was just the beginning. People need to be campaigning for Free Beyonce too. Here's where it gets interesting. Remember how Jay-Z allegedly made 16-year-old Rihanna stay in his office until 3 a.m. to secure her record deal? That gives major conditioning vibes, and people are starting to connect the dots between how he allegedly operates with young female artists. There's been chatter that Rihanna went from calling Beyonce her biggest inspiration to now barely talking about her and paying her dust. According to some wild sources, apart from Rihanna having a deal with Jay-Z, making advances at her when she was just 17, she's also had to deal with Beyonce trying to force her into situations with Diddy. The whole dynamic got so messy at Rihanna's Anti album, allegedly leaked on Tidal, a platform owned by Beyonce and Jay-Z, which forced Rihanna to release the album before its initial release date. Meanwhile, Beyonce's Lemonade album, which was about to be released at the same time, got all the promo and ended up selling 653,000 copies compared to Rihanna's 124,000. But here's the twist that really sent these divorce rumors spinning out of control. Jay-Z recently jumped in to defend Beyonce against the Grammys, calling them out for never giving her that long overdue Album of the Year trophy. At first, people were clapping for him, giving Jay-Z props for standing tall for his queen.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that.
But sharp-eyed fans couldn't ignore how Beyoncé looked. She seemed tense, almost annoyed instead of touched by his speech. And then came the strangest part. When Jay-Z was up there praising her, he didn't even call her Beyoncé. He referred to her as this young lady. That awkward choice of words had fans buzzing with questions. And even wilder, why put Beyoncé on the spot in front of millions of people only to not even say her name or at least call her my wife? Right after Jay-Z finished his little speech, he, Beyoncé, and Blue Ivy left the Grammys. So tell me that's not strange, especially since Jay-Z was there to accept his own Global Impact Award. So he respects the Grammys enough to step up and take their award, but at the same time he's dragging them for being biased against his wife? Make that make sense. And of course there's the infamous elevator incident from 2014 that nobody wants to address properly. CCTV footage captured Solange lunging at Jay-Z and attacking him, while Beyoncé stood to the side and their bodyguard intervened. What really happened in that elevator at the Standard Hotel after the Met Gala after party? Solange was going absolutely ballistic, kicking, swinging, even hitting Jay with her purse until its contents spilled all over the floor. And Beyoncé, she just stood there for most of it, only stepping in between them near the end. The family released a carefully crafted statement saying they had worked through it and that Jay and Solange each assumed their share of the responsibility. But here's what's really suspicious. A hotel employee allegedly sold that footage to TMZ for $250,000. Why would someone risk their job unless what they captured was that explosive? Some people think Solange was defending her sister against something Jay-Z had said or done. Others believe she caught wind of some shady business Jay-Z was involved in. Either way, that level of rage doesn't come from nowhere, and the fact that Beyoncé mostly stayed out of it tells its own story. Now here's where things get wild. There's this persistent conspiracy theory that Blue Ivy might not actually be Beyoncé's biological daughter. People point to that viral moment when Beyoncé's baby bump seemed to fold during a 2011 TV interview. The theory goes that Beyoncé faked her pregnancy and used a surrogate, possibly a woman named Kathy White, who allegedly had an affair with Jay-Z and died under mysterious circumstances. According to this theory, Blue Ivy would actually be Jay-Z and Kathy's daughter, and Beyoncé just took her and presented her to the world. Some wild fans claim that now, as Blue Ivy reaches her teens, she's starting to ask questions, and even ran away from home to seek the truth about her biological mother.
Kathy White. What? Yeah, buckle up. On August 28th, 2011, Beyoncé announced her pregnancy at the MTV VMAs. On January 7th, 2012, Blue Ivy was born into this world. In 2016, Beyoncé dropped Lemonade. Now, as we all know, Lemonade was a true album about infidelity. Jay-Z was rumored to have a very long-time mistress. It was well known in the industry. People knew of Kathy White because of Jay-Z, okay? Yikes. So here's where it gets a little crazy. Kathy White was known to be pregnant in 2011. Shortly after giving birth, Kathy died mysteriously in her apartment of a brain aneurysm.
I have a feeling this is related.
Okay. Now, even though we saw Beyonce's bump publicly, there's a video of Beyonce sitting down for an interview and her whole stomach just deflates in the video. And it's very weird.
This is crazy.
If you listen to Daughter, the song completely illustrates a confession.
And then there's Ramir Carter, who's been fighting a legal battle for over a decade, claiming Jay-Z is his biological father. Ramir's mother passed away at the age of 45, but had always told him that Jay-Z was his real dad, and that she was 15 years old when 22-year-old Jay-Z got her pregnant. Jay-Z's team has never acknowledged him, and the courts have repeatedly dismissed Ramir's filings. On top of that, word is Beyonce's been grinding harder than ever, pushing her new hair care line, rolling out fresh projects, all because she's on a money mission. Rumor says she's trying to secure her own empire separate from Jay-Z before all the dirt about his alleged shady dealings with Diddy comes crashing down. Jay-Z's conspicuous absence from Beyonce's halftime performance at the NFL game has sparked curiosity with his latest move. The rapper and mogul, who re-upped his deal with the NFL in October to manage its music entertainment, was nowhere to be seen, despite being expected at the event. Some speculate that his decision to stay out of the public eye during the Netflix broadcast may have been a strategic move to avoid further scrutiny. Even during her Renaissance tour, there have been whispers about Jay-Z's limited appearances and the couple's separate travel arrangements. When Beyoncé had to cancel her Pittsburgh show due to production logistics and scheduling issues, people started wondering if there were deeper reasons behind the sudden changes.
And the breaking story we have today about Jay-Z and Beyoncé is that they are over. The two of them are pretending for their fans, are pretending for the cameras, they're pretending while they're on tour that they're still a couple.
With crimes like those Diddy has been accused of, there are always enablers. His alleged misconduct spanned for decades and was aided by a sprawling network of people, including various business associates, members of his security team, and household staff. And Jay-Z's response to recent allegations has been immediate and uncharacteristically emotional. While Jay-Z's lawyer has made a point to distance his client from Diddy, saying there's no friendship between them, the decades-long connection between these two power players can't be erased that easily. The Dream, a hitmaker for Beyonce and Rihanna, has also been accused of R&SA by a former protege. The pattern of powerful men in the music industry allegedly preying on young women is becoming impossible to ignore, and Jay-Z's name keeps getting mentioned in these conversations. In various dark corners of the internet, theories about celebrity control and manipulation are rife, from Beyoncé allegedly being replaced by a clone in 2000 to her supposed connection to the Illuminati, to claims that she faked her pregnancy with Blue Ivy. These theories persist because fans don't trust what they can't fully see. The thing about Beyoncé is that her privacy has always been part of her brand. She controls the narrative, from her art to her interviews to the rare glimpses into her family. Everything is calculated. The whole situation is looking messier than a spilled drink at a club. And Jason Lee, he might be holding some serious tea about Jay-Z and Beyoncé that could shake the whole game if he ever decides to let it out. Nobody knows if he's going to spill the entire pot, but one thing's for sure, when Jason starts talking, he doesn't hold back.
Now, like Will and Jada, they both have started coming out a little bit more to the community, allowing us to peek into their secret lives. Beyonce's posting captions, she's washing her hair online, I think she may have even done meet and greets, she's let people touch her, she's actually showing that she's human. And when you do that, people want more.
Social media is already lit with takes and opinions, and fans are saying they wouldn't be shocked at all if Jay-Z ends up exposed as even worse than Diddy. But here's the twist. Some people aren't seeing Beyoncé as the victim either. A lot of folks believe she might be stressing out over her own skeletons falling out of the closet if Jay-Z goes down. That's why this drama feels like it could go in any direction. Jason Lee isn't just threatening to expose relationship drama, he's potentially sitting on information that could unravel decades of alleged mistreatment, control, and cover-ups in the music industry. The fact that he specifically mentioned having receipts and was willing to blackmail one of the most powerful couples in entertainment suggests he knows something major. Whether it's about Jay-Z's alleged pattern with young women, Beyoncé's potential complicity in covering things up, or the deeper connections to the Diddy scandal, Jason Lee's tea could be the domino that brings down the entire house of cards. So tell me, do you think Beyoncé's actually ready to file those papers, or is she too deep in this empire to pull the plug? The streets are watching, the Bayhive is scrambling, and Jason Lee is sitting on what could be the biggest bombshell in entertainment history. One thing's certain, this Carter Empire drama is far from over. And if Jason Lee decides to drop those receipts, it could change everything we thought we knew about music's most powerful couple. From the age gap allegations to the control tactic, from the mysterious deaths to the industry cover-ups, this story has all the elements of a scandal that could destroy legacies. The question isn't whether there are secrets to be exposed, it's whether Jason Lee has the nerve to expose them, and whether the public is ready to handle the truth about their idols. Because even if half the rumors are true, we're looking at the potential downfall of two of the most powerful figures in entertainment history. After everything we've seen with Diddy, R. Kelly, and countless others, maybe it's time for all the secrets to come out. The music industry has protected its power players for too long. If Jason Lee's threats force some accountability, then maybe this humiliation is exactly what's needed to clean house.